This is the Porsche Taycan. We're here in Malaysia and I'm riding on the Porsche Taycan for the first time. This is the first Porsche I've ever been in, and of course it's got to be an EV. This is a very luxurious car. This specific build costs 615,000 ringgit. The glass roof is an optional install, looks really nice. It's a sedan, so it's a 4-door sedan, rides low, and it just feels good. And it's not a Tesla, it's a very different driving experience. I think for drivers, they like this car, the handling is much better. But the range, right now when I'm looking at the console, I think this is about 75% state of charge, and the range is about 230 kilometers. So if you want some of the practical benefits like longer lasting battery, Tesla is the way to go. Let's take a look at the interior. You can see that the Porsche Taycan has many different screens. It's got the driver's heads-up display, it's got a center console, it's got another screen here. This isn't exactly a touchscreen, so if you press it, you can actually feel it's almost like a capacitive screen. And this is an optional passenger side screen that you pay a little bit more. So you've got media controls, phone, navigation. That's what the front looks. And for Porsche, you've got this mix of digital analog clock in front of us. So it's 4:06 p.m. on a Sunday in Malaysia. Driving along, experiencing this EV, you would notice that the motor sounds a bit different than a Tesla. Riding behind me is Kelvin from our earlier videos, and I'm going to ask him for his impressions riding in the rear passenger seats. Kelvin, how is riding on the Porsche Taycan so far?
It is very comfortable at the back, ample space, especially for consider your sports car. I like the glass roof. It is very nice, especially when you sit at the back. You want to look at the sky. It gives a sense of larger space. The seats are slightly harder than the Tesla, but all in all, very luxurious and just fits your body, so it's very nice.
Porsche is known for amazing build quality. Is this superior to a Tesla?
I would say again, just by looking, it looks better. Yeah, especially when you look at some of the fittings, you don't really see, like maybe a bit of misalignment, but for this kind of price and of course the Porsche brand, right, it's top notch.
I agree, Kelvin. Riding in this car, you really feel the luxury. I think Tesla is a way to go on the interior build quality, but there are rumors that Tesla is partnering with some companies to improve the interior trim for the refreshed Model S and X. The Model 3, the Model Y, again, are their mass cars. You can't compare that with the Porsche Taycan. But for the refreshed S and X, that's probably where it's a more apples to apples comparison. With the Porsche Taycan, there is an optional electric sport sound add-on. So you pay for this, you turn it on. It is designed custom by Hans Zimmer, the famous German composer. So let's see how the acceleration goes on the Porsche Taycan. You've heard the sound? What do you think? Does the electric sport sound help you feel more of a drive? Does it sound like a Star Wars vehicle, like a spaceship? Definitely a very comfortable ride. It's not as bumpy as a Tesla, so that's got a huge benefit for Porsche. Another thing I noticed, even the cabin noise is lower than a Tesla. We are here on a freeway, we're going at pretty decent speeds, there are quite a number of cars around us, and I think the noise isolation is better. Unlike a Tesla, you do need car keys to enter a Porsche. So, got 4 buttons over here: unlock, lock, front and trunk. We're going to take a look at the exterior of the Porsche before we head inside. So what's interesting is that there are 2 charge ports. You unlock them by just sliding your hand underneath. So on the driver's side, you've got AC charging. There's another charge port on the other side. Let's take a look at this. To lock it again, you just slide it to close, and that's it. Let's hit the other side. Same thing down here on this side. Slide underneath, the charge port opens. You've got AC on top, and you remove this, you get DC charging. So you want fast charging, it's going to be plugged on the left side, the front passenger side. Same thing to close it. That's it. So the thing with EVs is that the charge ports are in different locations for different brands. For BYDs, charge ports are in front. For Teslas, we know that they're actually behind. Because this is a sports car, it rides quite low, so you can see there's not much ground clearance. Got to be careful with humps over here. Let's check out the front on the Taycan. Unlocking it. Now, unlike a Tesla, you don't just lift it up. There's actually a slider below to make sure that the front doesn't come up if it's not locked properly while driving. So you see a red line at the bottom. You slide it forward, and we lift up. So this is the locking mechanism. So here's the front. So you've got your charge cables up here. You've got a few accessories. So good amount of space. Can you fit in carry-on luggage? Probably. Not a very big one, but you can fit in a decent sized carry-on luggage. That's the front of the Porsche Taycan. Now let's check out the trunk. So again, it's a power trunk, it lifts by itself. Good amount of space. And I believe there is some additional space below here. So we can put in some charging cables. Not bad. And you get a Porsche umbrella if you buy a Taycan. I believe this is a button to unlock the trunk as well. Let's try. So there you go. This button. And we click on this button again to close the trunk. So decent space. The Model 3 does have more volume in the trunk. But this is not a car that you're going to bring on very long road trips. This version comes with an add-on of a glass roof. It's a beautiful glass roof. And you notice with the door handles. So when you're close by to it, it actually comes up and it's got a pretty strong, sturdy lift. The glass is double pane glass for nice noise isolation, so it's not too loud. And closing the door, solid. I'll see you inside in the driver's seat to explore the interior. Inside, the Porsche Taycan has a two-tone leather interior. The Porsche Taycan comes with dual models, one in front, one behind, and uniquely for an EV, two transmissions. This model costs 615,000 ringgit. Okay, depending on how you spec it, you go all the way up to close to R1,000,000 if you get the 4S Turbo. Key difference for many of you who drove other EVs like a Tesla, there are a lot more buttons here in the steering wheel, throughout the console. This is a more traditional car, so there's still a start-stop button. You've got the gear stalks on the left. And for the center console, you open it from the driver's side. There's a button over here, and it goes up. Now, one small little thing that some owners notice is that it does not stay up, unfortunately. It comes to this position. So sometimes you may want it to stay on top, but it would come down here. That's just one small thing. Otherwise, this car is the embodiment of refinement. Driving experience. When you come in here, driver's seat, there are 3 driver's profiles you can set over here in the buttons. With a Tesla, because it's software driven, you can have a much larger number. When it comes to driving this car, even though it's an EV, it doesn't have full regenerative braking, so one pedal driving, like most Teslas. When you release the accelerator, the car will still go forward. So with start-stop traffic, some may prefer a Tesla. Range, we've got about 300 km in range. Over here right now in the console, I'm seeing 211 km. We're roughly about 70% state of charge. Acceleration, 0 to 100 in 5.4 seconds. Not too bad. I'm here in the rear passenger seat of the Porsche Taycan. This car is a 4-seater. It's not meant for someone to sit in the middle. Because you notice here, there is what looks and appears to be a transmission tunnel. It's not going to be comfortable for anyone sitting here. Maybe a very young child, that's it. The optional glass roof gives a wider sense of space. Leather is stiffer, it's more comfortable. Everything looks good. Interior space, I would say the Model 3 still has more rear passenger space. And leg room for the 2 passengers, pretty decent, not bad. Height-wise, I've got one fistful. I'm 176 cm, so I think height clearance similar to a Model 3. One last thing, the rear glass panel is a fair bit smaller compared to many other sedans, but this is a sports car. Porsche built a good EV, and traditional car enthusiasts who can afford it will likely enjoy it. This car isn't for everyone. It costs 10 times more, Malaysia's most popular car, the Perodor MyV, as Malaysians call it, the king of the road. Yet new technology adoption often starts at the high end. Color TVs, airplane flights, and smartphones. For now, every EV on the road is one less ICE car on the road. If you found this video useful, please click the like button. Hit subscribe to stay updated to more videos like this. Signing off and take care.